3 days, 72 hours. That's the time given to Link to save Termina and probably the rest of the planet from turning into a land that looks more like a mashed potato. Every third day, you play the Song of Time to reset time before the moon crashes, resetting the state of Termina. But what if you wanted to do it all in one go? There will be no glitches used in this run, although exploits are fine. My intent here is to do it in a way any regular player can do without needing to study up on the wacky world of Zelda 64 physics. Without further ado, let's get into this run. Starting the first day may not be exactly as you expect. I immediately play the inverted Song of Time to slow down time to 1/3 speed, then grab the silver rupee from East Clocktown to cap out my wallet. I hit the first owl statue of the run, giving me a warp point here later, and then buy the bomb bag while I'm on my way out, and deposit the 49 remaining rupees into the bank as well. Once in Termina Field, I proceed to make my first mistake. I was supposed to go to the Milk Road, but I sometimes forget during these runs and instead just run straight to the swamp, which is what I did here. Hit the owl statue here for another warp point and grab the guaranteed stick spawn from the plant since I had to go to the statue anyway. I will need at least one stick to get through Woodfall Temple, and it's either picking it up here or from the pot right before it. Find Kome by going left, right, forward, left in the Termina Lost Woods, then leave to tell Katake about the fact you found Kome by going left, right, forward, left in the Termina Lost Woods. Then take a potion to her by going left, forward, left in the Termina Lost Woods. Kome is revived! Now let's get a free boat ride from her. This boat ride is always kinda funny because while everything else can be optimized to crazy amounts, going through with the boat ride always means you just have nothing to do except put your hands up in the air and just sit there for a while with nothing to worry about. The first day is really hectic, so honestly, take a load off and just wait for the boat to get to your destination. You have plenty of hurrying to go. In the Deku Palace, enter to see the foolish monkey by trespassing into the garden on the right. Just kidding, go to the garden on the left instead. The bean cellar you would normally need is on the right, but I'm taking a shortcut. Once I get through the first doorway, I backflip onto the doorway instead of moving forward, and side hop onto the Deku Flower to get to the gel much quicker. I have no time to lose, especially not on the first day. This way I've managed to get to the monkey around 9 AM. Learn the song that outs the monkey as having at least met the Deku Princess, which is proof enough for him to get tortured in this rated E for everyone game. While that's going on in the background, I just leave towards Woodfall Temple. As a great hero, I know for a fact that the monkey will be fine without my help. While learning the Song of Soaring, I suddenly realized I forgot about the Milk Road Owl statue and let out a loud, not safe for YouTube sound using my vocal cords. You can only imagine what that sounded like. Dejected by my own failings, I decided the run has been going well so far, so I should at the very least use this run to practice. Oh, if only I knew. I awaken the temple and make my way into... Every second counts here in the Woodfall Temple, so I rush through everything as quickly as possible. After making it through the entrance, I rush to the right side door, grab the key, then immediately run back and hop through the locked door on the other side. Safely use my stick to rush up the stairs and burn the spiderweb, light the torches in the darkness, then I fly through the room I dubbed the Room of Hell since these wasps keep getting in my way. They did manage to do something cool at least once in these runs though, but not in the clear run unfortunately. Now I can hit the switch, enter through the door close to it to get back to the room we got the key in, but from the top this time, and into the first mini-boss room. Armored Lizalfos! He dies in one stick jump slash. I grab my grand prize, the bow, and for now, leave the temple. You may be wondering, why am I not finishing that first temple? Doesn't that lose time? Well, Majora's Mask uses a clock for events, and there are quite a few time-sensitive events that need to be taken care of on the first day. The most important of which is Epona. While we can pass by the gates you need Epona for using an exploit, we cannot fully enter Ikana Canyon later without glitches, as we need to get either the Garo Mask or Gibdo Mask to enter. The Gibdo Mask is in Ikana Canyon itself, and the Garo Mask is a prize for a horse race. The problem is, Epona must be unlocked by the end of the first 12 hours, as by the second day, Romani will have been probed by aliens and her memory will be completely wiped, so she won't be able to speak normally and won't be able to give us Epona's song, which means not being able to get the horse. This will require a powder keg to blow up the big rock in time, which is in turn locked behind getting at least the fire arrow. So, my next step is to get the fire arrow from Snowhead Temple. With bow in hand, no distractions in my way, and the bomb bag purchase as I went through buying it first thing in the run, I can make my way to the mountain village safely and hit the owl statue. With the owl statue taken care of, I head all the way to the Goron Shrine so that I can talk to a crying infant who just makes the most lovely sound imaginable. Then leave to go grab the Lens of Truth in the floating cave. How does it float? No idea. With the Lens of Truth, I witness the slow-moving ghost of the Goron hero, Dermani, and for the crime of wasting my time, I trap his eternal soul into a magical transformation mask. Okay, so maybe I'm not a very good hero. I then unleash the spring water, which is probably very stinky considering it's been with a corpse, and on my path to return to the Goron Shrine, I unfreeze the Elder with it to learn the Goron Lullaby intro. Play this for the crying infant and he teaches me the full Goron Lullaby, and with this song fresh in my mind, I warp back to Mountain Village to save a little bit of time and head to... Time is pressing, and I have to get to the fire arrow as quickly as possible. So in the entrance hallway, take the right door, jump the gap, don't go up the stairs, you gotta use the left door. This brings you to the main lobby, only one door to go through here. I grab the key, then use the Song of Soaring to bring myself back to the entrance without losing time. This time I go left and use the first bomb boost of the run, a trick that allows me to use the updated physics engine of Majora's Mask to jump extra far, skipping a very tedious switching puzzle I'd otherwise have to do as Goron Link. Finally, I head straight to the mini-boss room, but not before getting frozen from overshooting the rolling distance to get the fire arrow from the first whiz rope of the run. And with my new prize in hand, soar to the entrance, leave to take care of business with Epona. Warping back to Mountain Village, I absolutely beeline it to the Goron Shrine area to remove the ice crystal blocking my path to become Powder Keg certified. Make it through the exam as quickly as I can, and with the powder keg added to my arsenal, warp back to Clocktown so I can roll to Milk Road, blow up the rock, and proceed finally to Romani Ranch. I figure I have enough time left, so I take a very small time loss by turning into Hylia Link and walking to her for a bit so that I can see the cute little smile they added onto his face in the Western version. He looks so happy, I couldn't resist. Time freezes while unlocking Epona, so there's no real rush in the balloon minigame, but I still clear it within a minute since it's kind of easy anyway. And with that, the worst part of the run is over and only 2 time-sensitive steps remain, one of which I forgot I can actually take care of right now, but thankfully I can just do it on the second day. Warping back to Clocktown, I once again deposit my money in the bank, bringing me over 101 rupees. Then I make my way to the Great Bay, finish off another tortured soul and trap him in a magical transformation mask. I'm still a great hero, by the way. I really suck at the Gerudo Pirate Fortress stealth section, but I have to do this at least twice. Grab the hookshot the first time, drop the egg off, then I take the wrong path. Well, I'm already here now, so just drop that egg off. Let's try this a third time. My goal for the second run was actually this chest, and I do get caught after opening it, but this time, that's okay. The chest was kind of my prize anyway. Bring the silver rupee back to the bank and unlock the adult's wallet, allowing me to keep 200 rupees on me at once. Not only is this pretty convenient for refill purposes, as the shop lets me effectively substitute rupees for time spent gathering resources, I can also immediately go ahead and buy a powder keg for later while I'm here unlocking this and keep 100 rupees on me still for later. I also buy a red potion so that I can go unlock the stone mask, which means I'm on my way to Ikana Canyon for the last time-sensitive Day 1 task. After unlocking the stone mask, I awaken Captain Kita to gain his mask. I got chinks on the way and struggle with the fight at first, but after I get deep fried as Zora, I kinda kick his butt as a Hylian, and with his mask, go into the Day 1 grave to acquire the Song of Storms, that is, after I get instant killed twice by the Iron Knuckle. They're a bit harder in this game than in Ocarina of Time, and it catches me off guard every single time, especially since I only have 3 hearts right now. With no more time-sensitive tasks on Day 1, I decide to do the unthinkable and get rid of my main weapon, the Kokiri Sword, for the last few hours of the night so that I can get it upgraded. This was my plan with unlocking the wallet all all along, I'm going to try and get the Gilded Sword this run. With about 3.5 hours left in the night, my next step is to get the second bottle from the beaver races. And I thought this took longer, but now I still have 1.5 hour left, and in my infinite wisdom decided I could take a little detour to open the Zora Cape Owl statue early, for which you'd normally be using a sword that I do not have, because I already traded it in. Whoops. Lucky for me, the Deku Stick works as an impromptu sword, and I happened to buy a few earlier. Finally, during this last hour, I decide to invade the Gerudo Pirate Fortress and, well, I managed one of the eggs, but I have no sword and get my butt kicked. I decide to just grab one of the eggs from Pinnacle Rock for now and leave, because I am so tired of the Gerudo Pirate Fortress by this point. I'll come back with my upgraded sword after I finish some dungeons. While I do this, the timer has rolled over to... On the second day, with no dungeons completed, I start to feel a little bit of pressure to actually finish up some things I left unfinished. So with every main item up until the hookshot in hand, it's finally time to return to Woodfall Temple after I pick up my upgraded sword. This new sword, titled the Razor Sword, only lasts 100 hits. But that's for the entire second day, so that should be fine. Back in Woodfall Temple, I finally fight the frog and turtle mini-boss for the boss key, use the fire arrow to skip ahead through the dungeon a little bit and fight the first boss, Masked Jungle Warrior Adolwa. Shoot him with a few arrows and spin to win with the Razor Sword, and he dies near instantly. Tattle, having watched Link erratically rampage across all 4 locations in Termina over the past 24 hours, finally decides this is a good time to apologize for the stuff in the forest and losing the horse, cause honestly, he's kind of a menace, isn't he? But it's fine. Link already got her back. 10 AM on the second day and the Deku Princess is finally left to rot in the dungeon. No time for rescuing princesses or monkeys. I have to get to the Gorman racetrack. And I forgot to hit the Milk Road statue again earlier, so once there, I finally hit it only to never use it again in this run onward. I quickly grabbed the Garo mask from the Gorman brothers by racing them in what is effectively a freebie race. The real hard race has yet to come in this run. After this, I go to finish business at Snowhead. Of course, after getting the central pillar up, I get horribly lost in the central pillar maze of a temple. But then I realized that I could just hookshot my way out of the problem and get a much quicker exit. After yet another Whisrope mini-boss, seriously, has anyone counted how many times this guy shows up in Majora's Mask? I would do it, but I'm too lazy. I grab the boss key and crash my Goron butt straight into Goat, who unfortunately gets away from me with 1 health remaining, so a little bit of time lost there again. And that's half the dungeons complete in a little over half the time. It sounds like we're a little bit behind on target, but since this includes a lot of prep work for the 3rd and 4th dungeons already, we're actually significantly ahead. With the Snowhead area returned to the springtime it's supposed to be in, I take a little detour to play some Mario Kart 64. Over my attempts, I got weirdly good at this minigame, so I get it in one go, but if you're following along and playing this on an emulator of sorts, feel absolutely no shame in using save states if you're trying to go for the Gilded Sword. This thing wastes so much time, and it's so easy to get it wrong. The Goron race gives me a 3rd bottle that's unfortunately stuck with gold dust until I trade it for either 200 rupees or the Gilded Sword. Satisfied with the result, I go back to Pinnacle Rock to get the remaining eggs there, then enter the Pirate Fortress to beat the Gerudo Lady in a 3-hit based revenge thanks to my new Razor Sword, and get the last egg needed to enter the Great Bay Temple, which I immediately leave because I remember I really want to have fairies for this one. Early in the Great Bay Temple, I skip doing a mini-boss to get the boss key because I can bomb boost to it as Zora Link to save a few extra minutes. It was probably just a Wizrobe anyway. Then play through the entire dungeon pretty normally, but efficiently, taking the wrong path only about 300 times, which is just a normal Great Bay Temple run, let's be fair. Now, I'm not a Majora's Mask god, and I never really figured out how to consistently kill Georg quickly, so I fight him as normal because I never actually ended up looking it up. Of course, doing this, I die in the process, which is why I picked up the fairies earlier. Self-awareness is key for this run, and get out of the dungeon around 1:30 AM. Since I figure I won't be needing the sword for a while again, I take the opportunity to trade in my Razor Sword and empty out the gold dust bottles to have 3 bottles available for the upcoming Ikana Canyon section. Ikana Canyon. Most of the prep for this area is already done. I have Epona, the Song of Storms, the Garo Mask, the ice arrow, and the hook shot. But before I go in there, a quick collection run is in order. So I warp back to the southern swamp and stealth my way through to the magic bean cellar. After getting 5 magic beans, 10 deku nuts, a fish, and a bottle of milk, I can make my way into Ikana Canyon, free Sharp from his curse using the Song of Storms I picked up about 24 hours ago, then sneak my way past Pamela using the stone mask to enter the house. Cure Pamela's dad using the Song of Healing, which... I mean, at least we didn't steal his eternal soul. Great hero still. Wearing this mask allows us to talk to the Gyptos in the well, prompting a trading sequence that spans the whole area that I'm already fully prepared for and don't actually need to do most of. Bringing us all the way to the Mirror Shield. It's now 4:30 AM, so there's about 90 minutes left before my sword is ready. There's practically no combat in the Ikana Canyon section right up until the end parts, where the Wizrobe shows up yet again, which I once again beat by huddling in a corner and just pelting him with arrows. And as if perfectly timed, once I blow open the roof using the powder kick I purchased about 30 hours ago, the crack of dawn of the 3rd day hits, a perfect time to use the Song of Soaring to leave, pick up my new gilded sword, and use it to absolutely demolish the old king of Ikana and his guards. Seriously, this battle went by so quickly because how busted this sword is to have, and I'm so glad I took the time to get it. From here, I basically have 23 hours to beat the Stone Tower, which is a lot of time for a pretty linear dungeon. And admittedly, nothing eventful really happens. I fight the mid-bosses and beat them pretty easily despite having no idea what I'm doing whatsoever. I do make a major mistake near the end of the dungeon in accidentally walking past the key, but I'm able to recover it by bomb boosting back where I'm not supposed to be allowed to jump back, saving me a bit of precious time. Finally, Twin Mold. Snipe the tails with my remaining arrows, then use the Giant's Mask you're guaranteed to pick up in Stone Tower Temple to finish him off with the Gilded Sword in a pretty quick manner, finishing up the 4 dungeons and getting myself ready to fight Majora. With 10 hours to spare, I get some items for the final confrontation with Majora, fill up on arrows and bombs, even though I know I won't need bombs, and fairies to quadruple my health. I could do more things, but at this point the run has been going on for nearly 6 real-life hours, and I decide to just finish it, but not before taking a quick break to rest my hands. With 6 hours left on the clock, I summon the 4 giants I frantically rescued in the last 66 hours to stop the moon from crashing, then finally confront Majora. Realizing it's been a few years since I last fought him without the fierce deity mask, I struggle a little bit to remember what I need to do to beat him. What's more, I run out of arrows on Majora's Wrath, but eventually I manage to poke him in the toe and seal the deal. Killing Majora once and for all, and if I had one regret, it's that the monkey is probably still getting tortured right now. The most bare-bones possible credits roll for Majora's Mask, showing almost every single mask you're not guaranteed to get, since I just had no time to collect a lot of these. With that sad note, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is defeated in one cycle, something I've wanted to do for over 10 years. This game has been with me since it released 24 years ago, and I've finally done the ultimate challenge in it. I wonder if you can do this with Majora's Mask 3D.